Hey everyone, it's Caleb. What if the most important XRP developments right now have nothing to do with price and everything to do with infrastructure going live? Because just in the last 48 hours, we've seen a major shift towards real world blockchain settlements from US market infrastructure signaling what's coming next to live payment corridors already expanding overseas. So if you're holding any XRP into 2026, this is the kind of positioning you actually want to be paying attention to. So stay with me. I'm going to break it down, and then we're going to look at some price, some key levels, and see kind of what this is going on and what we can expect in this short term. And hopefully into the long term, we'll start to see this asset being used how it's designed to be used, and I think we will. So let's just get into it. The biggest signal is that the DTCC, basically it's like the backbone of the U.S. security settlement, just confirmed that tokenization is moving from a pilot phase to production ready in the second half of 2026. And this is not like a small sandbox test. Like, this is infrastructure that's already processed over $2 quadrillion annually. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. Like, I don't actually know the stats. I know if you like, okay, how many days is 1 million seconds? That's 11 days, okay? So guess how many days $1 billion would be in seconds. Let you think about it for a second. It's not in days, but it's actually about 31 years. So now if we get into a quadrillion, I don't know. You do the math. You let me know in the comments below. But that is a lot. That's a big number, okay? So when they say like production, like they're talking production ready, they're not experimenting anymore. They're preparing for real flow to move on chain, like a big amount to flow on chain. Like that'll be insane. And I'm looking forward to it because I think that's going to cause the price to absolutely moonshot. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, so please always do your own financial research into this space. You owe that to yourself. But I'm just a guy with some thoughts on it. But do what you want to do, right? This is just what I'm doing. So, this is something where XRP, it's become so relevant, right? And the XRPL has spent years positioning itself for this fast settlement, for low fees, for the ability to handle, high volume value transfer. So if traditional finance starts shifting even a fraction of that volume onto blockchain rails, networks that like already work at scale immediately stand out. They immediately stand out. So like this doesn't necessarily mean XRP suddenly spikes tomorrow. I would hope that it does. That would be awesome. And I think one day XRP will have that kind of a moment where it is just the flip of the switch, as they say, right? But I mean, until that moment, like this slow build is exactly what you want to see, right? Institutions don't necessarily move in this a fast-paced environment, a fast-paced thing, right? They build infrastructure first. They test it, right? They scale into it. It needs to be safe, right? And like that's kind of like that's what is a good way to kind of view the timeline in like a rational way. Like, oh, XRP is gonna be $2,000 tomorrow. I mean, it could. There's a potential there. If all of a sudden it settles back into the stock market during some big massive collapse. There is a potential for the crazy extremes. But even without those crazy extremes, we're gonna start to see a slow build up, because here's the kind of a kicker that you need to pay attention to is like when the price goes when price action goes and is crazy volatile and it goes to these extreme numbers extremely fast, right? Let's say XRP went to $100 tomorrow. You're going to have a big drop. I guarantee it, most likely, right? You're going to have people dumping it as fast as they can. Those people might be kind of sorry, but if next thing it goes to $1,000, right? But it's I don't know if that's a realistic scenario, okay? I'm trying to keep this channel and everybody here a little grounded. I believe in the use case of XRP. I believe that the XRP is going to be worth $1,000 one day. I just don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, and maybe it's going to be in 4, 8, 12 years down the road. That's still an insane amount of price appreciation, even if it takes 10 years, a decade. A decade is not that long. Now, I guess if you're 90 years old waiting for this stuff to moon, then yeah, a decade might be your last. Hopefully not. Hopefully you can live to 120. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some AI advancements that keep people alive even longer. But like, you do have to recognize there's a reality to things, right? And as fast as markets come up, they also come down. It's not like it's, all of a sudden up something's going to go up and it's going to stay up forever, right? Like it's people buy and sell in these markets, and that's just what's going to happen, right? And you have to be prepared for that, right? It's not like it's like the forever holders are also the round trippers, right? And by what I mean by that is like, they buy, they hold forever, and they never sell, and then next thing you know, they've rode all this. Like if you, like for instance, the last cycle, right? You bought at 27 cents and it went all the way up to about 360 or something, and it's like you got a 12x return, and then you rode it all the way back down, and now you're kicking yourself, and you're just like, well, I'm gonna just wait until we go next round. Well, next round I think we're gonna go to 10, 12 bucks this time. Okay, maybe we get to $8, and then it's like, well, you just rode it all the way back down, round tripped again, and you just keep round tripping until event. Like, I mean, you can do that, but it's like you could also just have a bag to hold and a bag to sell, right? There's nothing wrong with having both. You can be a long-term holder and believer in this space, but you can also at the same time be trying to sell and double your position or reinvest or use some of those profits to help your actual life, right? Like, you don't have to live in a world of absolutes is all I'm trying to say. Like, I've seen some people do it that way, and there's nothing wrong with selling into a profit, okay? Like, yes, I believe long-term holders of this space are going to be extremely wealthy in the future, right? To the point it'll be generational wealth, and if they structure themselves in the right way, they have like LLCs in place to custody their to hold their assets and custody it with institutional grade custody and all those types of things that will protect you in the future. Yes, like that's great, but you can also just take some profits and actually trade in these markets too. Like I'm no degen trader, that's for sure, but if I play on the meme coins or something, that's just for fun, right? But in the world of actual utility, yeah, I like to see this real world usage actually happening, but I just kind of want to protect you guys from maybe some of you guys that are new to this space, and some of you that you're older, you can kind of put your 2 cents in what you've seen, because a lot of people they get in this market, they want to be rich tomorrow, then they're not, then they learn, oh crap, maybe I made a few mistakes here. Yeah, maybe you made a few mistakes, but use those mistakes. Maybe you round tripped last time. Let me know in the comments below if you round tripped, but don't let that discourage you from the actual use case and the possibility of making a profit this next time. And maybe you don't have to be so absolute about it. Beg to hold, beg to sell. That's just my 2 cents, and I hope that that helps in kind of just trying to navigate this market, right? The market is designed to mess you up and to trip you up, right? So you need to be hold things kind of know what to hold loosely and know what to hold on to, into the future and to weather the storm, right? Like XRP's real world utility that helps, that will help navigate all the FUD that comes out, all the fear, uncertainty, all the doubt, right? I mean, this Clarity Act is a big deal, right? It's still very much in play. Like there's discussions continuing and potential markup like timelines approaching. So there's nothing completely finalized in the last few days or anything, but the direction hasn't changed for the Clarity Act. And if clear definitions around digital assets come through, well, that removes like one of the biggest barriers for institutional capital coming in even in a stronger way than it already has. So I mean, hey, I just want to make sure that you guys are having a well-rounded view. But like all of these things are connecting, like institutional settlement moving towards blockchain, real payment quarters going live, right? Regulatory clarity is almost here. You can pretty well taste it. And this like price holding structure that XRP is in the meantime, like that's just building a base for XRP for this next run up. And together, all of this is a huge setup. So like stay realistic about it, and let's understand why we're long-term positioned and why this actually is a great asset class to be positioned in. But hey, it's working out, you guys. It's gonna work out. Just hold on a little longer. Don't sell the golden goose, right? There's going to be a revolution that happens in the entire, not just America, right? It's not just about the Clarity Act in America. There's clarity that's out there in Dubai. There's clarity that's out there in other places. Yes, America's a big market, but it's not the only market, right? Like, just remember this. There's a global market here that's at play, and XRP is it's going to be foundational in all of it. Okay, so yes, America's doing its thing, and it's going to be a big catalyst. But remember, the catalysts that happened in the past, where XRP went from fractions of cents to $1.80, $1.90 back in the day, made people millionaires off of just a few $1,000 investment. Like that all happened when there wasn't clarity in this space. Imagine what can happen when there's clarity in this space. I know the market cap's bigger. I know that there's more money invested. I know that there are all these different factors at play, but that doesn't mean that XRP can't actually like take off and move in a way that it has in the past. XRP is a big mover, and Ripple is making massive moves around the world in global finance. Be patient. We're gonna see this space explode, and if you're paying attention, you're gonna be one happy camper, in my opinion. So for now, you guys, stay blessed, be positive, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one.